The Son of Man came to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for all.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Once, when Jesus was praying alone with only the disciples near him, he asked them, "Who do the crowd say that I am?" They answered, "John the Baptist, but others Elijah, and still others that one of the ancient prophets has arisen." He said to them, "But you, who do you say that I am?" Peter answered, "The Messiah of God." Jesus sternly ordered and commanded them not to tell anyone, saying, "The Son of Man must undergo great sufferings and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and he will be killed. But on the third day, he will be raised." The Gospel of the Lord. Our Gospel reading is from Luke chapter 9, starting from verse 18. And in this passage, the question of theology is raised. There's what is called Christological question. Now that's a theological question. It's called Christological question. Now what that means is, which Christ do you know? There's what is called Christology from above or Christology from below. When we say we are believers in Jesus Christ, we say, which Christ do you believe in? The disciples of Jesus and very many people in the time of Jesus, they knew the Christ from below. What that means, if we say Christology from below, we mean the historical Jesus. They knew that he was born in Bethlehem. They knew that his parents lived in Nazareth. They knew that he made his home in Capernaum. The disciples of Jesus knew the Christ, the Jesus who called them when he was walking along the beach. They were fishermen. He called them. And he says, "Follow me." And they followed him. And that is the Christ, the historical Jesus. And that is what is called the Christology from below. And so Jesus wanted to know which Christ they knew, which Jesus they knew. And so he asked, "Who do the crowd say that I am?" Do they know the Christ from below, or do they know the Christ from above? And so the disciples told Jesus, they just thought that you are one of the ancient prophets. And then he asked the disciples, "You, my followers, who do you say that I am? And Peter responded with an understanding of Christology from above. And what is Christology from above? Peter answered, "You are the Christ, the Messiah of God." Now, in Bible class, we say, at what point did Peter know that? Peter has been following Jesus for 3 years. At what point did Peter know that Jesus is the Messiah? Now, the question that Jesus wanted them to understand is Psalm 2. If you read Psalm 2, verse 7, where the Messiah is supposed to be the Son of God. "You are my son, on this day I have begotten you." That's Psalm 2, verse 7. And everybody has been waiting for the person who will be the Son of God. The Son of God. That's theology from above. And so Peter said, "You are the Messiah." Messiah is Hebrew word, and when we translate it into Greek, it means Christos, and when we translate Greek into English, it means Christ. And what is that? What does it mean? It means the person who was anointed by God himself to come save the world. All the prophets talked about this person. Psalm 2, verse 7 talks about this person. And so Jesus wanted to know if they knew that he was the one. And so he asked them, "But you, who do you say that I am?" And Peter said, "You are the Messiah, the Christ of God," meaning you were begotten by God. And so Jesus commanded them not to tell anyone, not to tell anybody about it. Now, what we say in Bible study is not until you can move from theology from below to theology from above, you are not a converted Christian yet. Because it is so easy to only know the historical Jesus. We know the Jesus that was working miracles. We know the Jesus that was healing people. We know the Jesus that was going from town to town. That is history. That's historical Jesus. And so Jesus says, the one who is Christ of God, who has come from above to come down, will experience 3 things. First, he told them, this Christ that you have come to know must, he says he must, he used the word must, undergo great sufferings. That's the cross. Then he will die. And then he will resurrect. Again, the Paschal mysteries. Until we accept the Paschal mysteries, our faith is not complete. So the conversion, the call that all of us are invited to embrace is the passion, the death, and resurrection of Jesus. And so he sternly commanded them not to tell anyone. Everybody must come to that realization by themselves. Some people have not, but the Mass that we attend every day is the memorial of his passion, his death, and his resurrection. The Mass tells the story. The Mass invites us to embrace the mystery of the Paschal mysteries. It says, accept it. Accept it. And once we have accepted that, that is what is called theology from above. But we need the theology from below. They are not contradictory. The theology from below is like the process to following him to getting to theology from above. And so when we're following Jesus, we follow him from theology from below until he attains theology from above.